Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger here checking in on the Facebook lawsuit. If you're waiting for your $345 check, the settlement from the Illinois Facebook privacy settlement, you're going to be waiting some more, and here is why it's delayed. Payouts in the $650 million Illinois Facebook class action privacy settlement have been delayed after three users on the social media platform appealed a court decision approving $345 each for the 1.6 million class members. So this case was it was awarded. It was finished. They approved. Facebook lost. Actually, Facebook was like, "Hey, we'll pay 550 million," and the court said, "No. How does 650 million sound?" So that worked out to be the people who filed, were going to get $345 each to 1.6 million class members. Now, there were objections, and these objections concern attorney's fees and whether the settlement is large enough, and that will take time. It's going to be months. In February, the California judge issued the final approval for the landmark settlement, and that boiled down to that $345 per person. The Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act is among the strictest laws in the U.S., and it requires companies to get permission before using technology such as facial recognition. So what Facebook did was they developed a facial recognition profile by looking at the pictures we posted of ourselves, and that is a no-no. In the ruling, Judge Donato called it one of the largest privacy settlements ever and a major win for consumers. And this is more than 1 in 5 eligible Illinois Facebook users signed up to participate in the settlement, including myself. So out of the $650 million Facebook agreed to pay, Donato awarded $97.5 million in attorney's fees and $915,000 in expenses. And this is exactly why there was an appeal. There are people that feel that this number is too high and that our payouts should be larger. So last week, 3 Illinois class members filed 2 separate appeals over the decision with the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in California. Opening briefs are scheduled for July, with responses set for August. So how long is that going to take? I don't know. It sounds to me like they could wrap it up in August or September. Maybe the soonest you would see a check would be September, and the latest being Christmas time. That's just my prediction. But it's definitely going to be tied up in court to at least August. Kendrick Jan is one of the attorney representing Dawn and Kathy on these appeals, raised concerns in an interview over the calculations used to determine attorney's fees, but said there were specific objections that have not yet been finalized. And in the other objection, Illinois Facebook class member Kara Ross is seeking lower attorney fees and a much bigger payout. According to her lawyer, the Illinois Privacy Act allows for $5,000 per person for damages that were intentional or reckless, and $1,000 for negligent. And he says, hey, this violation was willful, meaning we the class deserve closer to $5,000 per person. In the ruling, Donato said class members would face significant hurdles proving Facebook acted recklessly or negligently in violation of the law, and that their risks of losing the case at trial justified the lower amount. Which, yeah, that kind of sucks. I don't look at it that way. Facebook totally acted recklessly and negligent, and they went ahead and did something they knew they shouldn't do, and they owe us. So the reality of it is these objectors are playing an important role in the class action, but ultimately the lower court's decision will be upheld, and these smaller $345 checks are going to go out. So, yeah, it was a November 23rd deadline last year. You had to sign up for this thing. And I seem to remember it was like I found out about it in like July or August. And I remember telling people, and people just looking at me funny. Oh well, that's $350 pizza money, right? 22. That this represents 22% of eligible users, and that backs my statement. There was 1.6 million claim forms filed out of 6.9 million eligible people. So 22% of the people went ahead and filled this out, which it didn't take very long to fill it out. Like it took about 5 seconds to fill this out. Anyway, that's what's going on. It was appealed. People feel that the uh, lawyer fees and that were too much, and we should be getting more money out of this settlement. And they're taking that. They're making a federal case out of it, although looks like it's already been determined that no, all we're going to get is $345. So this is just putting it back by, you tell me how many months. I'm saying conservatively, the minimum. I'm going to say September or October. Probably October is more realistic than saying you might see a check in September. But you never know. If they settle this in court right away, you could see it in, let's say it's August 2nd. They settle it, and then they send the checks out the next week. We could get the checks in the second week of August. But it's definitely not going to happen before that. So if you were waiting for that, there's your update. I'd appreciate a comment, a like, a smile, a share. This channel is all about music, making music, and I like guitar stuff. So if you're here because you were, who am I kidding? Anyway, hug your pets, enjoy life, it's short, and peace.